As Marquette embarks on the nation's capital, we travel through all of the great monuments here in Washington, D.C.
We'll take a look at some of the nation's greatest leaders and focus on the heart and soul of the Golden Eagles as they look to finish strong in the Big East.
This is the White House in Washington, D.C.
This is Marquette Basketball Weekly.
Welcome into Marquette Basketball Weekly. I'm Brad Galli in the heart of America's history, Washington, D.C. Behind me are numerous memorials and monuments based off the ambassadors of our country and memorial of all the leaders that have come before us. In a minute, we'll find out which of the Golden Eagles would make the best politicians. And we'll also investigate Father William Kelly, the 26-year chaplain here at Marquette's impact on the current crop of Golden Eagles. This past Sunday did mark the National Jesuit Spotlight Game. We'll take a look at what Buzz Williams, Joe Fultz, and Jimmy Butler all had to say about the longtime chaplain. But first, our Todd Warner standing by one of America's great presidential monuments.
Leadership. It's a quality needed in all great history makers. Abe Lincoln was one of the country's biggest difference makers, serving as the 16th president of the United States. Recently, Jimmy Butler became the 17th player in Marquette basketball history to record 1,000 points and 500 rebounds. 17th player to get 1,000 points and 500 rebounds, and the big scale of things. What's that mean to you personally?
It means the world, you know. That's just part of my legacy of me being here in Marquette. You know, that's real big to have my name up there with a lot of great players that went to school here. So I'm glad that, you know, I had a chance to do this. I'm blessed for the position that I was put in, and I just hope to keep going.
And now sophomore, you came in and you'd be wide open and you wouldn't even look to shoot. Everyone would say, hey, why isn't this guy shooting the ball? But now you seem to be the leader. How have you grown as a player on the court?
Really, it's all about confidence. I mean, I had that confidence as a sophomore, but that wasn't who I was. You know, that wasn't my role in that team. And each year my role seemed to go up a little bit more. My confidence began to rise a little bit more, and now it's just like I can do it all. You know, there's no limits. Not that Buzz ever put a limit on my game, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But I knew what I had to do, and this year what I have to do is I got to, you know, be that leader. I got to be that guy that when something's going wrong, you know, I got to try to take over as much as possible.
Now, being that leader, you're going to leave after this season. How do you show the young guys what to do? Is it kind of you talking, or is it kind of you walking the walk out there, you know, getting the rebounds, getting the points?
It's both, you know. I got to tell them what to do. But since I say it, I got to live it, so I got to go out there and do it. But I think the most important thing that I got to show them is winning is real big here. So, you know, we got to get back to this tournament. We got to focus on these next few games and end up in the NCAA tournament. You
kind of carried the shoulder of the team so far. Do you think you kind of have to do that for the last couple of games, or do you feel like you can lean on the other teammates, or are you kind of grasping the moment and say, hey, this is my senior year. All the other guys went to the tournament when I was a sophomore and a junior. I want to be just like them and go out to the tournament like your senior year.
It's all of that, you know. I want to feel like it's all on my shoulders, but it's not. I got teammates for a reason. I got really good teammates, really good players, athletes, shooters, all of that. But it's definitely a lot of it's on me because I'm that senior, and the senior is supposed to be the leader. As far as winning goes, I can't do it by myself, obviously. So I need my teammates, and my teammates are going to be there for me, and we're going to do this together. We're going to win as a team.
All right, thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you all.
Back to you, Brad.
The Golden Eagles are able to travel to cities all over the country each year. Places like Louisville and Pittsburgh are lined with tradition. Tampa gives the players a warm weather feel in the middle of winter. But there is no place as worldly influential as Washington, D.C. As the fanhood around this crop of players grows, it's interesting to hear how they interact off the court and who could someday become a great politician in the nation's capital. Of the guys on this team, who do you think would make the best politician?
Jay Crowder. The way he acts is just, he thinks he's the center of attention. He thinks that he's just he's the man, like he's the boss of everything.
I'm honored. That's a compliment, I think, but I wouldn't choose myself. I would choose someone like Joe Fultz because he's so active. He makes everyone happy around him. I think he made good decisions.
I want to see Joe be the president just because he's so goofy and he ain't never serious. I want to see what he turns America into.
Rob, he's real smart, but at the same time, I think he could manipulate you pretty easily and let you think that he knows everything he's talking about. Jimmy just does that just because that's just him anyways.
Jimmy Butler, hands down.
Why is that?
When I look at Jimmy, just the way he talks, the way he carries himself, I look at Jimmy like I can see Jimmy being a lawyer. For some reason, I don't know why, but I could just see Jimmy being a lawyer.
You could see him in a shirt and tie, walking with a briefcase.
I can see him in a shirt and tie, walking with a briefcase, waking up, shirt and tie guy every day,
Jimmy, just because, he thinks so much and his head is so big, so, he in the suit, he's good.
I can, beef it up with a suit and tie. I don't know about a bow tie like Jamil Wilson wears, but definitely a regular tie.
535 voting members make up Congress. 14 talented basketball players make up Marquette's basketball roster. The crossover may not seem that apparent, but according to the players' perspectives, you may see a golden eagle on Capitol Hill sooner than later. Being a politician, you have to argue, but being a president, you have to kind of have that enamoring ability to kind of take over a room. So if you had to vote for president, would your vote still stay with Jimmy or Rob, or is that a different category for you?
I would say Rob, just because he would be real loyal about it. Jimmy, not that he's not loyal, but with the president's money, I don't know what he'd do with it. So,
Rob.
Yeah?
For sure. Rob. For sure. And hands down. He organized everything off the court with us. He made sure we're on time and stuff. If you need to be woken up, Rob will come wake you up. He does stuff like that, and I appreciate him.
Is he kind of like a motherly figure on this team or what?
He is.
Yeah?
I love it. He wakes you up. He do anything. You need a phone call. He'll call you, talk to you, whatever you need. When we're away from each other, he's good for it.
This guy thinks you'd be the best president on the team because he says you're a motherly figure. What do you make of that?
I don't know what to make of that. I mean, I guess I take care of these guys. I make sure they don't get in trouble more than they know. But
I told him you come wake us up if you need.
Yeah. Jamil probably would have missed about 8 practices if I hadn't waken him up. So I guess I could see that. Yeah.
As we polled the player on who would be the best politician, there was one notable name missing from every ballot: Devontae Gardner. We're talking about who would be the best politician on the team. You haven't gotten a vote yet. You think you could sell yourself as a politician?
No.
No, not you?
No, not me. Don't talk enough.
He doesn't talk enough?
Don't talk enough.
To the freshman's credit, when we asked him who he thinks would be the best politician, he turned to his left and pointed to either Jay Crowder or Rob Frozina. Not a bad move by the young forward. Through Marquette's nationwide exposure, we at MUTV are able to interact with the top college basketball analysts at ESPN. Todd Warner caught up with Len Elmore in Washington, D.C. to talk about the Golden Eagles' chances in the tournament, to see who needed to step up for this team, and what's going wrong with Buzz Williams' squad late in the season.
I'm here with Len Elmore of ESPN, former college basketball player. And Len, Marquette has let up leads all season long. How do you explain that? Do you think they don't have that killer instinct to close out a game?
Well, I think it's a lack of focus when it comes down defensively. They gave Georgetown a lot of high percentage shots after doing a good job in the first half. Certainly they didn't hit the offensive glass the way they did in the first half as well. They were stuck on 10 second chance points, and that kind of was the name of the game for them. They did a good job on the glass in the first half, let Georgetown get back into it. But I think overall, you look at free throws down the stretch, you look at defensive lapses, particularly with the secondary help, and I think that's what a problem is, and they've got to really tighten that up.
You were a former player. Is there one player on Marquette's team that you think needs to step up in the clutch moments and really carry the team on its back?
I don't think it's just one player. I mean, this is a team game and it's a team effort. You got a lot of guys out there, particularly from a defensive standpoint, that have to be able to step up and help. I think that's one of Marquette's biggest problems. Play good man-to-man, but when you have somebody drive and they're looking to dish, the help side doesn't come over quickly enough, and they've given teams easy shots down the stretch.
And we're almost coming into March. Do you think this Golden Eagles team is a tournament team?
I think they're right on the cusp. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, they got a resume that they can make an argument for, and certainly some people can make an argument against. Bottom line is they have to do something that's going to have them stand out. They got another chance in playing UConn as well as going into the Big East tournament, but they've got to do something that makes them stand out.
That's the thing about the Big East. So many good teams they can beat, but if they don't beat UConn, they've got teams like Seton Hall, St. John's, Cincinnati, teams that they're level with. If they beat them, do you think they got a good chance of going into March Madness?
Yeah, I mean, those are the games they have to win, and when I talk about standing out, the best thing you can do is win the games you need to be able to let the tournament selection committee take a look at you. If you win what you need against the teams that you're competing against, that should help you stand out.
Len Elmore, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
This past Sunday marked the National Jesuit Spotlight Game, celebrated every year. It got us thinking about the basketball fan who has served as a Marquette Jesuit educator for 50 years. A key element of Marquette's identity is its Jesuit roots. The university is one of 28 Jesuit collegiate institutions in America, and when it comes to Marquette's celebrated basketball program, there's no shortage of Jesuit influence. For 26 years, Father William Kelly has served as team chaplain. But aside from sitting at the end of the bench, most fans wonder, what does the role of chaplain entail?
Show kind of a Catholic identity, show your alums some Jesuit presence, to be available to the coaches and the teams in good times and in bad, because I'm so close to them and see what goes on in practice and what goes on the road. I have to be very careful about what I see and what I say. So that's about what it is now. Sacramental presence, availability, and a willing ear and encouragement.
I think it takes time, even for me, to genuinely appreciate what the Jesuits are about, what they stand for, and the consistency to who they are as human beings. I've yet to meet one Jesuit that's not somebody that you would want to be like, who doesn't set an example for how you should live.
Father Kelly cites Dwayne Wade as a former bench buddy and says he maintains a good relationship with the NBA superstar among all of the Marquette greats he's grown to know. The chaplain's delight comes in seeing the true Jesuit mission play out in the players' community actions. But for the avid sports fan, his excitement doesn't stop there.
Even as I get older and older, I take these losses much harder than the kids. They have to go right back to work the next day. I have to linger with the loss and put up with all of the nitpicking that the newspapers do with why we lost and all that.
Win or lose, he's always bringing the good out and everything. So when you see him on the bench, it's like when you look down there, you know, everybody's thinking that everything's going to be okay.
When he tells us different types of stories and tell us about, years back when Wade was here or when Lucas was here and his experience with them, you know, it just brings us kind of like a story time, like a bunch of little kids.
Speaking of the current Golden Eagles, Father Kelly called Buzz Williams a master and said he's been very impressed by the third-year coach. He also said that he has plenty of fun with the players off the court and said Joe Folse and Vander Blue are the leaders of the Father Kelly Impressions Club. His impact on this program, both as a Jesuit influence and as a wise advisor, is immeasurable.
The young guys come and they're like, I wonder who that old guy is over there. And then they don't know the prayer, you know, that we say every day before the game. And so I just think it takes time. But I think that what they gain from that experience, they understand before they leave, which I think is healthy. I think it's good.
If he wasn't there, a big part of our program would be missing.
How we talk on the bus, how we talk on the plane and everything, you know, if you don't hear Father's voice, you know, something's not right. Something's not right with the flow of how we process things. And just his presence there just means a lot to us. I'm accepted, and I also would realize that this is not going to last forever. And so if the coach or the administration get tired of it, why, I'll graciously go into retirement. But as long as I can do it and they don't have any objection to it, I'll do it.
We thank you for joining us on this journey around the beautiful city of Washington, D.C. And as the Golden Eagles look to make history this season, after visiting here, it's hard to imagine that they wouldn't be inspired to do so. For Todd Warner, I'm Brad Galli. Thanks for watching this edition of Marquette Basketball Weekly.
That's okay. Go ahead. The Capitals played yesterday when we were practicing. I saw that. They're red and white. They play in the NHL. Who's their coach?
Well, let me ask you. We'll get to that later.